All right, good morning. Welcome back. We're trying with the windows open today. It looks pretty good actually. I'm surprised. It might go dark, but we're gonna try it for now. It's nice with the windows open, for me at least. A little bit more natural light in here. Good morning, everyone. New week, new opportunities, fresh week, feeling good. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Yeah, go Panthers. It's funny you say that. My dad actually, he's like, "You want to go to a Panthers game?" I was like, "I guess." I mean, I live in Miami. I'm a Rangers fan, but I'll root for the Panthers. Did they release the schedule yet? I don't think they did. TSM, yeah, TSM keeps holding that level, but not really moving off of it. It's so blue. Yeah, it's probably because the blue light, the tint, the windows are tinted blue. Good morning. Welcome back. They're going to play the Hurricanes. Carolina Hurricanes. Hope everyone had a good Mother's Day. What else? Good weekend. Currently in the hospital. Oh, man, Alex, hopefully you're all right, man. Hopefully you're all right. All right. What is it, 8:02? We'll wait a little bit. Wait a few minutes for some more people to jump in. Good morning, Tesla. Yeah, Tesla, what a move on Friday. Big downside. Pizza Man? What's up, Pizza Man? couple 8 a.m. candles being weird. What's the 8 a.m.? Let me see. Yeah. A little bit increased in volume there on the SPY. Not much. Snap video from 2 years ago keeps... Yeah, YouTube likes to recommend my old videos. I wish it would recommend my new videos, because my old videos are definitely not as good as my old... my new videos are much better than my old videos. But it likes to recommend the older ones. All right. We will get started here. So, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream. New week, Monday, May 15th. Memorial Day coming up, so we're going to have a holiday week. I think it's this coming week, right? Next Monday. Next Monday, the market is closed, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, let me make sure. Memorial Day. That's Monday, May 29th. That's... Okay, not 2 weeks from now. Not next week. The 29th, Monday. Monday the 29th is the market's closed. So looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to that. I'm actually going to be with Carmine then. So look out for that. I'm going to go see Carmine in New Jersey. And we're going to try to make a video together. So that'll be coming soon. Friday, just another textbook supply rejection. I mean, it was pretty much perfect. I did miss some of the downside on Friday. I played a little bit of Tesla upside, took some profits off of 175. Yeah, that 175 pullback early morning. And then I sort of missed the downside the rest of the day. I was pretty happy with my day early morning, and I just said, you know what, it's Friday, let me get the hell out of here. But there was some very nice downside on Friday off that 4160 again on the ES, the same level we continue to talk about, and we're there again. This morning, we are back at 4160 once again. So the channel trade that we continue to watch is still alive, and we have to watch it again. We have to continue to trust this. We have to continue to trust this channel, which is crazy, but that is the truth. So here's the schedule for today. Hope everyone's having a good morning. Let's start it up. Let's get ready. Let's prepare for the trading day. Today's May 15th, economic earnings calendar. Let's go ahead and pull up the economic calendar and see what we got on there. So here's the economic calendar this week. Infinity QX80. I do not like Infinity, so I'm not going to buy one of those. I guess I didn't even look at those, but I've been looking at cars. But I'm trying to decide whether I really should buy a car in Miami, because cars in Miami are just a total waste of money. You just can't drive in Miami. It's like a total disaster. So I have a very big urge to buy a car, but I know it's stupid, so I'm trying to hold off. But anyways, Monday, May 15th, today, not really anything. You got some Fed president speaking at 9:15. Chicago Fed President Goolsbee at 8:30. Not really anything to pay attention to here on this morning on the economic side. Tomorrow, really heavy with a lot of Fed presidents. But the actual numbers that are coming out, retail sales minus autos, I guess you could see maybe something on that at 8:30, but really nothing major there. A lot of Fed presidents speaking. Barkin, President Williams, Goolsbee, what an interesting name. Bostic, Goolsbee again. So I don't really know how, the markets, if they say one thing, maybe there's a little reaction, but nothing really, right? Nothing really. Fed president speaking tomorrow. Wednesday, housing starts, building permits, really nothing there. Thursdays are normal jobless claims, and then Friday, pretty much nothing. So, yeah, I mean, really, this week is pretty light. Really, this week's just a bunch of Fed presidents acting like they matter. I should say, I'll take that back. I guess they do matter. But just a bunch of talking heads. That's what I like to call them. The talking heads are surely out this week, right? The talking heads here, talking heads here, talking heads here. Just a lot of talking heads this week from the Fed presidents. So I don't really think that's going to matter much, but we can see if there's any reactions off those. Let's go ahead and pop up the earnings calendar because there are some interesting ones on the earnings calendar this week. Some big retailers to watch out for on the earnings calendar. So you can definitely see some movement off big retailers. It gives you a little bit of an insight into the economy. Also, we do have retail sales this week, so that could be a little thing to watch. The retailers. So here's earnings, and you guys can see, right? Not much today. But tomorrow, Home Depot, right? That's a big retailer. That gives you a pretty good look into the economy, right? Spending on home improvement, sort of that type of look. You definitely have that on Home Depot. You have Target, right? You have Walmart. So some big ones, Ross, TJ Maxx. So some pretty much the name or the theme of the week from the earnings side is going to be retailers, right? Home Depot, Target, Walmart, TJX, TJ Maxx, Ross, Alibaba, sort of online retail, Bed Bath and Body Works. Nothing I'm really that interested in, but So that's sort of where I'm watching. I'm going to be watching like the Home Depots, the Targets of the world, the Walmarts of the world, and see how those report, and then sort of see how the retail sector moves with those. That's really the theme of the week for me on the earnings side. So that's that. Yeah, that's Alibaba on Thursday. So Tesla 166, big level it's approaching today. This is a triple bottom from last week that it is coming back into. So definitely something. Jack in the Box is a primary economic indicator. Totally agree, Beck. Nice Jack in the Box. Tesla 166, big level to watch today, so let's keep an eye on that. Nvidia 287.50. This was the previous bottom. I'm sorry, that's supposed to be 284.50. The 287.50 is what we already rejected off of here, and I played that downside on Friday. But this is the 284.50 that I'm talking about, so excuse that little typo there. 284.50 on Nvidia is a watch today. Meta is interesting to me today. Meta has been holding a pretty nice demand around 230, and it's still holding. So Meta, it looks like it's sort of building some steam. If we do get some market action to the upside, I'm definitely going to be watching Meta today. Google is in a very tight channel, about a 2-point channel, and I think there's going to be a nice move on either side of it. So this is definitely something to watch. Enphase, nice upside on Friday due to FSLR. They had an acquisition. FSLR acquired another, I guess it's a solar company. I didn't read much into it, but their acquisition caused FSLR to pretty much go to all-time highs in one day, and Enphase got a little bit of juice off that. So going to watch Enphase today. Amazon 112.50 rejections were gorgeous, and then finally AMD 94. So those are the ones we're going to look at. We'll obviously look around at a few other names, Apple, Microsoft, sort of get all the tech names in there, but those are the big ones that I actually like some setups on. So let's just go ahead and jump in and get started. If you guys could take 1 second out of your day on this beautiful Monday morning, show some appreciation, press that like button. That would be fantastic. I very much appreciate that. Thank you guys again for being here. As always, 1,300 right now, usually about 1,500 you guys on average coming in here every single day to watch me. It's crazy. I appreciate it, right? I'm happy that you find value from being here. And if you do, if you could press that like button, that would be awesome. All right. So I don't have anything new to report for you. I really don't have much new to report. All I could tell you again is to trust the channel, right? That's all I could tell you. You trust the channel and you probably do all right. You can see Friday we opened up. We had a pre-market upside into Friday. We opened up at 41.60. We had a nasty downside move. What are we doing today? We are pretty much doing the exact same thing that we did from Thursday into Friday, right? There's not much difference here. So are we going to think today we break out? No, right? That's not going to be our mindset, right? Our mindset cannot be, oh, we're breaking out today. Well, if you thought that on Thursday into Friday, you got slammed, right? If you thought about that from Wednesday into Thursday, you got slammed, right? So Wednesday into Thursday, pre-market upside into supply, slammed. Thursday to Friday, pre-market upside into supply, slammed. And then today, Friday, over the weekend upside into this morning, right into 4160. You can't say that we're not going to get slammed again, right? So if you see the market tank today back into 4120, you can't be surprised, right? There should be no surprise. There is no surprise if the market goes down, a point and a half, right into 4120 again. So we have to keep that option open. That has to be in our minds. We have to know that is a viable possibility. So 4150, 4160, 4170, you still can't go long here, right? So the long side risk reward this morning is actually not good, right? We know that. The upside is not good risk reward as we open near this 4160, 4170, right? We don't want to be long into this. You've seen what's happened at this level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in the past 6 trading days. So 4160, 4170, that's our watch to the downside. If we catch a nice downside move here, we are a profit taker down here, right? We are a profit taker down at 4120. I told the group on Friday, I said if we close above 410, right? If we close above 410 on the SPY, I would not swing puts, right? That was something I was talking about. I said I'd be comfortable on put swings if we hold under 410 into close. And you can see on close into Friday close, we had a squeeze back above 410 and that demand hold once again, right? So you have to, if today, let's say, for example, if we close today, right above this 4120, we can't be taking put swings, right? Because we're sitting at demand. That's the same reason you can't take put swings over the weekend. This weekend is because we closed above demand again, and we do not want to be opening puts down here, right? That is just not the area to be opening put options down at this demand, and this is not the area to be opening call options, right? So we got to respect this channel. We still have to respect it. 4160, 4170, 4110, 4120. That's all I could really tell you guys. That's really all that I could give you, right? This has been solid for the last week. It's been solid for a long time. We have to continue to trust it. So that's the ES. That's what I would continue to watch. The SPY, it's the same exact thing. It's 414 to 410, right? It's 414 to 410. And gold in the Discord, Mr. TNT here in the live stream said something very true that I agree with. It's never going to be perfect, right? He was saying how there's going to be a lot of fake outs of this channel. This is a little bit of a fake out right here. This is a little failed breakdown that probably got a lot of people sort of trapped in the short side. So it's never going to be perfect. Really what you want to be is just a patient trader, right? If you do see a continuation of a hold below, over a day or over, a few hours, then maybe we can get some confirmation. This hold below 410 on Friday lasted about, I don't know, how long were we living below 410? It lasted about, 3 hours. We were sort of living below 410, and then end of day, we just squeezed back above. So probably a lot of shorts that sort of piled in here, down and below 410, that sort of just got squeezed out of their positions. So it's not going to be easy, right? It's not going to just be like a simple break and hold below. There's going to be some fake outs. This is a nice fake out here. This is a nice little fake out here. They're going to play these games, so we have to be a little bit cautious, right? Especially on the swings. This is still, to me, a very intraday trading market with this crazy up and down. A swing, right? A swing trade in this environment does you absolutely no good. It's just an emotional roller coaster. I think you have to continue to scalp this market. So here's SPY, right? We know 414. We know 410. You could sort of say it's a little bit lower than 410. It's like this 409. You guys can see right here, this 409 double bottom, 409, 409. So maybe, right, if you want to protect yourself, what I like to do is if I sort of see, right, if I'm looking at 410 and I see that I think this is how I think about it. If I would have shorted under 410 on Wednesday and Friday, I would have lost, right? So let me make sure I protect myself. Let me take 410 off my chart, and let me watch 409 now, because I know that 409 has a lot of respect. There's a lot of respect at 409 here. So I would be willing to change this SPY channel if I want to be protective to 409. 409 to 414. So somewhat retiring our 4010, right? You might have to retire your 4010 because if you went short under 4010, our level, you might have got faked out a few times, right? If you went short under 410 here, faked out. If you went short under 410 here, faked out. So you could retire the 410 and you can just move that thing down to 409 so that you don't get faked out, right? Make sure that if I want to go short, I need to be under 409 now for a little bit more confirmation. So 409 on SPY is probably where I'd say is the safe level to watch. And then clearly we can already see the upside supply, 414, right? Rejection, 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 414, 409, rest in peace, 4010. We'll keep an eye on it, right? I'd still keep an eye on it, obviously, to see what the reaction is, because you can see it was respected here on Thursday of last week. So there's still, there's still a level there. But I think the 409 is probably a little bit more important, this little double bottom that came in from Wednesday and Friday. All right, so above 414, let's take a look at that real quick, right? I still think above 414, you definitely could see a little upside. That would really be where I'd be more confident in upside. If we do see something solid, something like this, where we really hold above it for an entire trading day, then I would look for, that upside continuation, all right? So you can see upside, if we get that break, if we get that hold, then you could look for that 414 hold. That could lead to your upside if we can eventually finally get this breakout of this upside channel. Then yeah, right? Then we can look for that upside. But it's not until then that we can trust that. It's not until we actually see that legitimate hold over 414 that we can really trust that upside. So 414, 409, those would be the larger guardrails, right? You can see 409 here, 409 here, 409 here, 409 here, right? Very clear demand. 414 supply, 414 supply, 414 triple top supply. We can clearly see that. So, yeah, that's all we have to watch. We got to respect the channel, right? That's all we do. YM. Why are those? There we go. Here's the Dow. 33.5, still the level, right? Nothing has changed. 33,500. This is a interesting rejection that is still sort of looming here, right? You can clearly see, make this a little smaller. You can still sort of see this rejection possibility on the Dow, right? Previous lows here, previous low here, previous high here, right? And you can see, go to the 15-minute, this is still a very possible rejection point on the Dow Jones. You can see right here, we pushed into this Thursday into Friday, big rejection off 33,500. We're doing that same thing this morning. You can see the Dow pushed right into 33.5, and we're starting to look a little bit weak, right? So watch this 33,500 on the Dow. I think that's your level. Keep an eye on that one. That's going to be key for the Dow. If I go to the Russell, I'm going to assume it is still in the channel, and yes, it is. Yeah, I don't like IBKR charts. No, I like TOS charts. Russell, nothing new here, right? Maybe there's a demand hold, right? Maybe there's a trade back to the upside. I did not skip NQ. Did I? Did I skip NQ? Holy shit, I did skip NQ. Sorry, you're right. You're right, Dennis. My bad. My bad. I can't believe that. I would never even expect myself to do that. Anyways, I'll go back. Russell. Channel, nothing there. NQ, wow. I skipped NQ today. All right, NASDAQ. Here we go. Still in a bullish scenario, right? Still in a bullish scenario. You can see right here, previous high, really nice demand hold, right? So we're still getting that outperformance on the tech sector, right? This hold of 13,350 is very key right here. Very, very key. You guys can see right here, this hold of 13,350 is very key on the NASDAQ. It is still maintaining above this major double top, right? You can see top, break, hold, right? So it's still holding. So as long as the NASDAQ is above that 13,350, it's going to be a little bit difficult to play downside on tech because it is still building higher lows and higher highs here, right? This is still building higher lows and higher highs. Now, do we eventually break this uptrend? Possibly. Do we reject this 13,500? Possibly, right? Do we get a move like this? Very possible. But as of right now, right, if we're not trying to guess what happens, if we're just watching the price action, watching the technicals, as of right now, this is still a pretty bullish hold here on the NASDAQ of 13,350. You guys can see this is a previous high from here. This is a previous high from here. And this is a previous high from here. And we just broke it, we retested it, and we held it. So this was the retest that I was talking about on Friday of last week. Friday in the live stream, I said how I really don't like the NASDAQ upside, and I still feel like there needs to be a retest. And that's pretty much exactly what we got on Friday. So big downside into 13,350. We are holding it. I would be a little bit cautious shorting tech back into this level. Right? You really want to get tech to be under this level to feel confident on further downside. You really want to give up this previous high and these lows at 13,350. So that's your key level, 13,350 zone. Keep an eye on that. To the upside, there is definitely some very, very heavy levels up here, which make the upside trade so difficult to trust any further than a day. So if I zoom in here on the daily chart, the way we're moving up here is very slow. And you can see we are approaching on the daily chart just some really heavy levels. So this 13,550, if I go over to this area on the market, this is back from April of 2022. This is May of 2022. You guys can see we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days that we rejected 13,550 on the NASDAQ, right? So we are approaching that 13,550. You guys can see right here, 13,550 is right here, right? And that is that daily chart triple top from 2022. That is right here. So that is something to pay attention to. That is also where we got pretty heavy here in August. Let me go ahead and zoom in. We also got pretty heavy in this area in August between 550 and 700, right up in here, and we are sort of approaching that. So it's a little bit tough, right? Do I trust upside into this double top here on the daily chart? This is a big double top too, right? This is a big, far out level. It's a little bit tough, right? It's a little bit tough to really feel confident into that zone. That's why I continue to just sort of trade intraday. If I go back to the hourly, right, you can see it is right here, right? We're about Friday was right about 50 points away from that 13,550. So getting real close to those heavy supply levels. Watch 13,350. I'd say watch 13,5 today. See how we sort of trade in that channel. I'm still under the impression that 4160 is in control still, right? I think the NASDAQ saw this rejection on Friday, partly due to the 13.5, but more important, I think, was the ES 4160. All right, I think that's what caused the downside on Friday. I think just a clear rejection of this level here, 4160. That's sort of what I felt sort of ran that move on Friday. That's what's sort of running the market right now is the ES 4160. So I take more weight. I have more weight in this 4160 zone than I do on the NASDAQ as of right now because I can clearly see the rejection stepping in. All right? Yeah, it's getting bright out. I'm getting dark. It's all right. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and close the blinds. Hold on. Let me close the blinds for us. Boom. Back in business. All right. So 4160, right? That's key. Let's continue. Tesla. So crazy move on Friday. This was the trade I took, and it was short-lived. It was definitely not a great trade, but I was able to profit off of it. You had to be really quick and be very precise because it was a little bit nasty. 175 was this little pre-market, this previous day high area right here, this 175. And so in the morning on Friday, I saw this little demand bounce off 175, this little high right here. I saw it start to wick off that 175, and I took a little scalp on that. But if you overstayed your welcome here, it definitely turned on you. I did take profits into this push, but what caused me to miss this downside, right, was I was sort of focused on this Tesla bounce and trading this upside here. And then as that was happening, right, the market started to roll over. And after taking my profits on this, it's sometimes a little bit difficult to just instantly switch your mind into downside mode. So I was sort of missing this downside. It is what it is. Happens. But I am happy I was able to take that trade. But obviously the sexier trade was to the downside, without a doubt, right? That was the sexy trade on Tesla. And really the sexy trade on Tesla was a retest of the level that I went long off of, right? So look at this, right? I went long off 175 in the morning on Tesla. Look at the retest of 175 for the downside, right? That was the sexier trade right there. So got to be able to look both ways. Sometimes it is difficult to sort of flip your mind right away, but look at that little bear flag off 175. Man, was that nice. And that is the same level you went long off of, right? So that's previous low of day, break and retest. A fantastic setup, right? The previous low of day, the low of day break and retest, or the high of day break and retest are some of the best setups. Right? You can see it right there. Low of day, break and retest of low of day. Great setup. So, yeah, that was nice on Tesla. Big downside. You're losing some right now. Let me go to the 4 hour. Actually, let me go hourly. Hourly chart, right? What's key today? 166. Look how key this looks. You can see, look at these lows at 166 right here, right here, right here, right on Friday. And we're trading right back into that 166 again. So this is going to be pretty key today. Let me get that right again. So very key, right? 166. Support. Big time, right? Big time. So keep an eye on that. 166, 166.60 area. If the market bounces today, right, there is nothing stopping Tesla from doing this again. So keep that open, right? Keep your mind open. If we hold this 166, we could absolutely maintain this demand and see upside continuation. All right, so keep an eye on that 166. That could hold. If that breaks, here's my only concern. About shorting under 166 today. I think you could also hold this 165, right? I think you could hold this 165 as well. So I'm not that comfortable shorting under 166 today because I think you might be able to hold this 165 as well, right? You have these previous highs. So I would be a little bit cautious here. Tesla may give you a little bit of a fake out here under 166 and then bounce. So for me to feel real comfy on the downside on Tesla, I'd probably want to see it turn 165 into rejections and then trade it back to the channel low of 160, right? If we get back in this channel here, that would be my play. So I'm a little bit cautious shorting Tesla if it's above this triple top right here at 165, right? So Tesla, 165, 166, this entire dollar zone is sort of It's a little bit, be a little bit cautious in that 165, 166. Don't know if I love it in there. All right, so look for the demand. If we break under 165, then I think you got your downside. A little bit more comfortable downside there. All right. Nvidia. This is nice. I was able to profit on my Nvidia puts from Thursday into Friday. Nice downside. We broke under this 284.50. We rejected that 287.50, and you can sort of see here, right? You can start to see stair stepping, right? Which I like to see. If you look at this Nvidia chart, you can start to see downward stair steps, right? And what do I mean by that? That is previous lows turning into rejections, and it continues to have previous lows turning into rejections, previous lows turning into rejections. So you can see Wednesday, right? Previous lows turning into rejections. Previous lows on Thursday turning into rejections. So you're starting to see the stair-stepping to the downside. For that to stay true, you have to reject 284.50 today, right? You can see right here, 284.50, 284.50, 284.50, 284.50, 284.50, once again, right? And so what does it do today, Nvidia? Does it turn the previous lows into rejections? And if it does, right, that is a continuation of this lower low, lower high formation. So I'm going to look for this, right? If the market's weak today, I will absolutely look to fade. I will absolutely look to fade Nvidia off 284.50 for a potential previous low rejection, right? This is a break and retest at the end of the day. Break and retest of the previous lows. So if I start to see weakness on the NASDAQ, if I start to see weakness on the ES at that 4160, which is very possible today, right? This could be a beautiful fade back into 280 on Nvidia. So I'm absolutely watching this. If you get back over 284.50, if you turn it back into support, then this thing's probably going to push to 287.50 again, right? Right up here. So big time level, 284.50, major watch for me today. Definitely interested to see how Nvidia trades off that level today. Big time. Meta. So Meta is on a nice little hold. I'm not going to lie, right? This thing looks pretty clean. You can see this little curl happening off this 230. You can see 230, 231. You can see how many times it continued to wick off this level. Wick, 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 John Wick, John Wick. Right off 230, 231. So you can't short into that, right? If you can't, your mind cannot tell you, yeah, I'm going to short into this quadruple 5-6 time demand hold, right? That's not going to work for you. So obviously, right, the bears know that. The short sellers know that. They look at the chart too. They say, I'm not going to short into this low, right? And so I'm not that interested in Meta shorts because I know this level keeps holding, and I really don't have much interest in shorting into that demand. So we have to understand that, right? You can see that strong hold. Now, 236 looks to be sort of that line in the sand. So 236 looks to be, in my opinion, a little bit of the line in the sand here. I'll show you why. It's not that clean here, but you can see right here, 236, right here, 236, right here, 236. You can see the 236 rejections, and you can see a little 236 hold there from Thursday into Friday. So you're right above that 236 this morning. So what I would say is if you see market strength, right, if today is market strength, then I would look for Meta off 236 to the upside. If you get weak, right, then I would look to see if Meta loses 236 again. So I would say 236 is your level to watch on Meta. I think that's sort of your line in the sand. That'll sort of choose whether Meta wants to move back to the channel low or move back to the channel high. It's pretty much the 50% retracement of this channel, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's literally exactly the 50% retracement of this channel. That's crazy. So you guys can see if I run a fib from this low here to the high here, the exact 50% retracement is at 236 right here. So you're like right in the middle. And so you have to see, does it want to stay above the top of the channel? Does it want to move towards the top? Or does it want to move back to the channel low? That's sort of what we're looking at here, right at 236. So keep an eye on that. Google. I would love to play this. I would love to play this downside on Google under 116.60s, right? That is just, look at this. For the Fib boys. Hashtag Fib boys. Everyone say hashtag Fib boys in the chat. I would love to play this downside on Google right here, right? This looks juicy, right? You can definitely see some weakness in this zone. I would even love to play the juicy downside into this retest of 109, to be quite honest, right? Because if I pull up a volume profile here, you're going to see exactly what I mean, right? Volume profile is going to be real light. Look at this, right? It's going to be real light in this zone, no doubt about it, right? So, yeah, that could be some juicy downside there on Google. I would love to see this break this shelf. If we can break this shelf, I would be all about this downside into this 113.50 and then maybe even down into this 109. So watching this for sure. Let's see what the Fib boys are saying. 50% retracement would be back into that 113, right? So it's normal to see 50% retracement. So this 113 level is definitely a target to the downside, and I think that would be a healthy downside move. So keeping an eye on that for sure. If I go to the 15, actually I'll go to the 5. Let me go to the 5 here. Let me take off our volume profile. It looks to me like it's 116.60. I mean, it's not perfect. You could move it down to 116.50, like just to be cautious, and tell yourself, all right, I'm going to wait till 116.50 sort of stays and rejects, right? Sort of that psych level. That sort of looks like where it bounced off here on Friday. So, yeah, I mean, look at this. I would love to target that. You need some kind of confirmation, but I would love to target that into 113.50. So big watch, big time watch today. We'll see if that demand holds again, right? It could still very much hold again. We can't ignore the fact that that could hold again and push back into 118. But gonna monitor this side, right? I'm gonna put alerts, even though I'm gonna be watching this thing like a hawk, to be quite honest, guys. But I'll just set alerts. Why not? Right? You can set an alert at both sides, at or above, right? So you just sort of wait until that channel breaks. But I'm going to be watching this thing as like a hawk today. End phase. So you guys saw FSLR, right? FSLR went absolutely insane. It went insane. That's pretty much all I could say. This is FSLR. It's been on an insane uptrend. It's not giving up. I think there's a lot of... I don't know if I want to say this on stream, but I think the solar sector is absolutely being held up by government. I think it's being subsidized to some degree. There's a reason that this solar is so strong. So FSLR, you guys can see, is just an absolute beast. It continues to hold up. It doesn't go down, right? It does not go down. FSLR goes only up. And so what I'm interested in is, does end phase, is this a major opportunity on end phase? I'm usually not an end phase bull. I really don't like end phase to the upside. I'm not a big believer in solar energy personally. So just make sure you know that. I'm a little bit biased here on solar. I'm openly biased about it. But hey, we can't be that way. We got to look at the stocks both ways. Is this a great opportunity on end phase to the upside, right? Major pullback, FSLR shooting higher. There might be some momentum in the solar sector. I would like to see if end phase can catch some juice here over 168. This 168 level, you guys can see, is this previous high. Can we get a little bit of juice here over 168 for some upside into this 174 and then maybe even up into this 182? Right? So going to keep an eye on end phase today. If we hold this 168, I will look for that 174. If we move over 174, I will look for that 182 and see if it sort of curls back up and retests some of this major downside. So could be an interesting watch, right? Weekly chart, you got a weekly chart uptrend that it sort of came back and tested. Is this an opportunity on end phase? Something to watch. Right? You got to make your own decisions, but something to just sort of keep on your radar over there. I want to also look at Amazon here. If we go to the daily chart, we talked about this Amazon supply at 112.50. You guys can clearly see what happened on Friday. Previous lows all right here. Previous highs right here, right? And you can see a perfect supply rejection of that 112.50 on Friday. So if I go to the 15-minute chart, you guys can see we opened up at 112.50 and we just had the nastiest wick rejection. A beautiful downside rejection on Amazon at 112.50. This play was straight from the pre-market live stream on Friday. We said watch the supply rejection of 112.50 and this thing was gorgeous. So really nice downside off that. It looks like you're trying to hold generally this 109, 110 area, right? This sort of looks like the demand that is stepping in. It's some previous highs from back on Wednesday. You can see this little consolidation that it's trying to hold here. So I would say look to see if Amazon rejects here, right? Finds demand at Friday's lows or breaks the channel, right? That's all you're looking for. You're looking for channel breaks or supply and demand holds, right? So push back into 112.50 for rejections, bounce off 109s, 110s, or break and retest for more downside here. That's what I'd be looking at on Amazon, all right? So Amazon, 109.70s. It's really like 109.50. It's not perfect, but it's this general area here from this previous high. You can see Friday lows, so watch that. But this 112.50 daily chart rejection is a big-time watch. All right, AMD. So we've been talking about AMD for quite a while, and we sort of been textbook reading this name. We talked about this bull flag, right? We talked about this. We talked about how we could push to the upside off that flag. That happened. That was beautiful. Congrats if you caught that. Now, next, we were saying, okay, bull flag happened, but we can't marry this into major daily chart supply. You can see right here. If I zoom out and get a little bit more time here. If I zoom out, you guys can see this 99.50, 100 zone is not an easy zone. Previous lows, major rejections, right? That's not an easy zone at all. It can absolutely continue to reject that level. Now, if we go to the 30-minute chart, this is where we start to break down. So you can start to see, right, where the analysis starts. It starts on the daily, goes to the 4-hour, break it down to the 30, right? This is, I know a lot of people have questions on this, and I usually just tell them, watch my live streams, right? I do this live every day. You see me analyze these stocks. You don't need to ask for a video, right? Just come to the live streams. You'll learn a lot from it. So you can see, right, I think a lot of people maybe watch the live streams just casually. I think it's probably smart to really pay attention to how we do things here. I think it's probably it's a free education in itself. Anyways, AMD, right? That 99.50, 100 area, huge rejection, right? We played this supply rejection on for Thursday. You guys saw me trade that live. That was a live trade on Thursday. You can see we rejected this 97 on Friday. Now look at where we're at. Right, we are right at the shelf. This is the shelf, and this is, I already did Google. This is, all right, if we go to volume profile, you guys will know there's going to be a lack in volume below here, right? Look at this void. Look at that valley in price action. So if we get under this 94, this is similar to Google, where you have a sort of valley in price action, a trough, right? Peaks and troughs. You guys have heard that before, right? You got your trough here of price action under 94, right? So if AMD drops that 94, right? If AMD drops this 94, then I like it into this $90 point. I can't talk. Little head and shoulder maybe under 94. I like it into 90, but we need to first see that demand break of 94. So that's what I would be watching, right? 94, 99.50, 100. That's the area that I would be watching on AMD. All right. I'm going to go over the futures, the Qs, and the SPY one more time, and then we are getting the hell out of here. Hourly chart, you guys can see on the NASDAQ once again, 13,350. Be careful of that demand down there. Be careful shorting into that level. If you want to look for rejections on the market, I would focus on the ES. You guys can see, 4160 is rejecting again. So watch out for that 4160 today on the ES. Watch out for 414 on the SPY. Please do not be long in the 414. It does not make sense if you just look at what's happened in the past. Do not long the SPY into 414. It is very clear that that is a major rejection. On the Qs, if we go to the Qs, it's pretty much the same as the NASDAQ, right? As long as you're above this sort of 324 zone, I would be careful on the short side, right? This 320, it's really like, it's a zone more than anything. It's like 324 to 323s, sort of this whole zone here. 323, let's call it 323.30. You can see, right? Previous highs, All right, previous lows and this low from Friday. So this whole zone, all right, is going to be very difficult to short into. There's a lot of buyers stepping up in this zone. It's a lot of previous highs and previous lows. Previous high, previous high, previous low, previous low. Careful shorting into that. On the SPY, 414, 410, 409, right? Channel trade. So watch for those supply rejections today up here. That would be my top watch. Let's see if we can get a supply rejection of 414 again and 4160 on the ES. That is really the top watch as of now. That's the only trade that has positive risk reward as of right now as we're speaking, right? That's the only positive risk reward trade that's presenting itself on the market is a 4160 supply rejection. We'll see if that happens. We can't just open the market and start pressing the put buy button, buy, puts, because we're at 4160. No, we have to watch. We need confirmation. We have to see if that rejection really comes in. All right? That's all I got. We got 1,700 people in here. We got 700 likes. 10%. What is that? I don't even know what the percentage of that is. It's a pretty good percent, actually. 700 of 1,700. 41% of people liking the stream. Let's get that to 50%. Can we get that to 50%? 50% of the people like the stream. I appreciate you guys for being here. Just know I push for the likes, not because I'm annoying. It does help. I'm just appreciative of you being here. You don't have to like the stream if you come, but, it's always a nice little cherry on top for me. Helps the stream, helps the channel, helps it continue to grow, gets that YouTube algorithm moving. That's what we need. So thank you again, guys. If you enjoy the streams, free every single day at 8 a.m., completely free. You just show up, and hopefully you learn something. So press the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to trade live with me on a daily basis, down in the description, it says trade live with me, where we trade every single morning. If you guys want to get the charts that we post or that we talk about in this stream, there's a thing below, the link below that says get technicals. That is pretty much every technical chart that we talk about in the live stream in a text format, so you can review it after the fact. If you want to check that out, that is down below as well. Thank you guys again. I appreciate you being here. As always, have a fantastic day. Have a good Monday, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Yeah. Peace out.